Chapter 1 of the Wounded. You are listening at FameTV.info. Chapter 1 Wounded in November 1944, at the Naples Naval Hospital in Italy, the cold sea breeze blew Phong Lang /S hospital gown. He didn't seem to realize it, and was admiring the warships moored in the naval port with a look of amazement. It not that these warships are advanced and mighty, but the final glory of these giant ship cannons really shocked him enough. Phong, why did you run out? Mr. John Clark is looking for you all over the hospital. The young nurse who could clearly see the freckles on her face was anxious. Miss Lilith, you are so beautiful today. Thanks to Phong Lang /S 20 years of sailor career, he was able to communicate with this little nurse in unfamiliar Italian. Thank you for your compliment, but this doesn't convince me that you continue to blow the cold wind here. Come in, the sea breeze is cold outside, and your body hasn't recovered yet. Did you forget that you passed out suddenly when you were standing yesterday? Lilith is obviously used to Phong Lang /S praise. Since the U.S. military landed in Italy, this naval base and surrounding ancillary facilities have been requisitioned, obviously including this hospital. The American soldiers are notoriously free and undisciplined, and they must have molested the little girl in front of them. Okay. If you can be gentle with me during the injection, I promise I won't run out again. Phong Lang said playfully, walking into the hospital. You mean I am not gentle enough? Believe me, you will soon see what it means to be ungentle. The little girl said fiercely. No, believe me, the reason why I ran out to blow the cold wind was because I was afraid that I would fall into your gentle hometown and would never be able to go out again, so I had to let the cold wind from the Mediterranean wake me up. Phong Lang Lilith /S face flushed red as she looked at her affectionately. Haha Phong, should I hide aside so as not to affect your confession? A figure across the corridor also wearing a hospital gown, a U.S. military jacket, and a cane leaning against the wall joked. Hey John, since you know you shouldn't speak out, you should hide and don't affect my confession. Haha. Brother, you have no chance. Obviously Lilith likes me, Haven you noticed. John said confidently, and he still raised his eyebrows at Phong Lang. The teasing of the two made Lilith a little shy, but she still imitated the tone of the aunt in the hospital. You two bastards, you have no chance, get out of the ward, I am going to give you an injection. Phong Lang and John hugged gently and laughed loudly, and walked back to the ward. In fact, the hospital has never figured out where Phong Lang was injured. He was in a coma when he was sent to the hospital. The frontline doctors thought that his brain was damaged by the shock wave of the explosion, and he fell into a coma. He didn't wake up for a week. Thought it was hopeless. After John /S strong request, Phong Lang was sent from the field hospital on the front line to the Naples Naval Hospital. The reason why John wanted to bring Phong Lang out was very simple. Phong Lang was injured to save him. If Phong Lang hadn't desperately dragged John, who was injured in his leg, out of the trench at that time, John would have fired the shells that flew later, directly boom into dregs. And Phong Lang was injured and unconscious because he was thrown nearly 10 meters by this shell. What John didn't know was that Phong Lang was no longer the sergeant of the Brazilian Expeditionary Force who dragged him out of the trench. Phong Lang only remembered that he was originally Cosco, the chief engineer of a 100,000-ton container ship, encountered a typhoon while crossing the Drake Passage, and he was checking the fastening of the equipment in the storm while wearing a safety rope. The person who was directly beaten by the waves flew out of the gangway, was dragged by the safety rope, and lost consciousness after hitting the container. When he woke up again, he became Phong Lang, a soldier of the Brazilian Expeditionary Force in the Italian War of World War II. In the first few days, Phong Lang always felt that he was in chaos, and the memories of two different people were constantly intertwined and repeated until now. Phong Lang /S head will still shut down suddenly, but after waking up, his spirit will be significantly improved, and a lot of original memories will gradually increase, including some memories that Fong Lang has forgotten before, such as even primary school classrooms. The chalk words left by the teacher on the blackboard can be clearly remembered. Fong, my father found me. John couldn't tell what he was feeling. John had never mentioned his father to anyone. What do you mean you ran away from home? Fong Lang is actually not familiar with John. John was a major liaison officer assigned by the U.S. military to the Brazilian Expeditionary Force. Fong Lang was originally a sergeant squad leader of the 1st Regiment of the Brazilian Expeditionary Force. Almost nothing to do with John. But the two were fighting in the same trench, and Fong Lang saved John's life, which made John, an American cowboy, very grateful. A comrade who had never met before risked his life to save his life, and John felt that he had to repay him. Of course not, just that my relationship with my father is not good. We would quarrel when we met. Originally, he wanted me to go to the Navy, but I wanted to stay away from him, so I came to the Army. Hi. What the matter, my old man and I don't often talk back, he always wants to control me, let me inherit my father business, and manage the family farm, my God. It not a feudal society now, I have at my freedom. So, I secretly signed up to join the army. I don't know if he is angry at home or not. John didn't expect the two people to have similar experiences. Then does your father know that you have come to Italy? I wrote him a letter before leaving, but I haven't received a reply so far, so I don't know if he knows where I am. Thinking about it, I still feel a little disobedient. Fong Lang didn't understand why do you have a cramp in your head and join this Brazilian expeditionary force. As far as Fong Lang knows, it seems that only Brazil in South America joined World War II at the instigation of the United States, and only 20,000 to 30,000 people in Brazil seemed to participate in the war. If it was to fight Little Japan, Fong Lang would definitely not say a word, and he would be done with it, but helping the United States to go to Europe to fight the war must be a brain cramps. John patted Fong Lang on the shoulder and said, "Brother, don't be sad, I can go and ask our logistics department if we have received your letter." Because the Brazilian Expeditionary Force is actually a unit under the jurisdiction of the U.S. military, the U.S. military is responsible for logistics, equipment, supplies, mail, and allowances, so John said to help him ask if there is any letter from him. Now that you on the battlefield, it's useless to think about it. You said your father found you. What do you mean? Fong Lang didn't want to continue thinking about the unchangeable facts. Today he called the hospital and said that he had arranged for his adjutant to come and find me. He wanted to transfer me to the logistics department of the Navy. But I don't want to work under him at all, Obviously John is very concerned about his father request. He was very dissatisfied with transferring him to his subordinates to protect him. Hey! Brother, you have a good father. He wants to protect you, understand? Fong Lang heard that John's father was going to transfer John to the logistics department under his command, so he knew that his father was definitely not an ordinary person. I understand, but I don't need protection. I am an adult, and he still treats me like a child. John's brain circuit really made Fong Lang very surprised, and he didn't know how to use such a good resource. Hey! Dude, according to you, your father is a great man, right? Fong Lang was really curious about who John's father was. Originally, he thought that John's situation in the U.S. military should be similar to his situation in the Brazilian army. Because John is not a white man. From his yellow skin, black hair, and black eyes, it can be seen that he is definitely a minority. The proportion and status of ethnic minorities in the U.S. military should be similar to that of Fong Lang, a Chinese, in the Brazilian army. End of this chapter. Listen to the full novel at FameTV.info, direct link in the description.